Hey team, it's Tom from Ficure. Welcome back to another lesson all about protein. So today's lesson is entitled Easy Bulk Cooking. So bulk cooking is a keystone habit to easier nutrition. So in order to have success, get the body composition you desire, we need to get our heads around bulk cooking. So don't be disheartened if you've tried bulk cooking before and it took you 3 hours to do. Don't worry about that too much, because the longer you do it, the more tricks you'll have to sort of slice off time off that cooking time and get it down further and further. You'll learn little hacks and tricks of the trade to basically get that cooking time. So it's virtually nothing at all. So with your bulk cooking, variety is key. So don't just get a big, massive tray of chicken breasts and bang them in the oven, obliterate them so they taste like a horse's hoof and you don't want to eat them. Try and pick 2 to 3 different protein sources and then cook those. So take like a salmon, a poultry, and a plant-based sauce, for example, and bulk cook those 3 at once. Find recipes that you like is super important as well. So find the recipes that you like. Save those recipes. So at home we have a book full of all our favourite recipes, and what I'll do is flick through those on a Sunday, look at the meal prep and go, right, okay, I'm having that one and that one and that one today. There you go. Because flavour is key to this. You've got to embrace the spices, learn to love different spices. So you can get a piece of salmon, you could put some Cajun on it. There you go, there's one way to cook it. You could again take another piece of salmon, put some lemon on it, and lastly put some dill on it. You've essentially got the same protein source, but very, very different flavours across the board. So learn to love your spices, get to know your spices, get to know what goes with what. Discover the slow cooker. Great piece of advice was once given to me about slow cooking. So essentially get a big piece of meat, get some water, throw it in there, add a few spices, turn it on, leave it for 6 to 8 hours. Boom, all of a sudden you've got a massive chunk of protein. Wrap it in tin foil, it can live in the fridge. Pull it out whenever needed, hack some off, throw it through some stir fry, whatever you need to do. The slow cooker is awesome. So not only does it allow you to cook meat, it also allows you to make soups as well. And amazingly, you can do other things while it's on. You turn it on, you forget about it, you go live your life, you come back 6 to 8 hours later, and all of a sudden you've got a big chunk of protein. Cooking plant-based protein sources as well. Plant-based protein is amazing. It's super easy to cook and it is dirt cheap as well. So essentially the only thing that really changes with most sort of plant-based proteins when we're looking at things like beans and whole grains, they're cooked on the stovetop in boiling water. The only thing that really changes is the actual amount of time you boil them for, or how you boil them. And it always says on the back of the pack exactly what to do. So basic bulk cooking. So I would be thinking basic bulk cooking. So bacon, fish and chicken. Essentially, that is an awesome way to do it. Get your tray, put some tin foil on it, put your chicken breasts on there, drizzle some olive oil on, a little bit of lemon. Essentially, you can cook a lot at once if you oven bake it. And the same with your salmon as well. Bang it all in at once, pop some Cajun on, whatever you're doing with it. Slow cooker. The slow cooker, as I've already said, meat, water, broth, whatever you're doing, throw a few spices in there. 6 to 8 hours later, you have a phenomenal looking slow cooked piece of meat. Beans, legumes and whole grains. So just rinse them, then boil them, bring them to a boil, then simmer until all the water's absorbed. And essentially there you go, all of a sudden you've got plant-based protein very, very quickly. Hard-boiled eggs. So one of my favourites, hard-boiled egg. So essentially I'll hard-boil those eggs, chop through some avocado, a little bit of tomato, add a little bit of basil through it as well, maybe a squeeze of lemon in there, and essentially you've almost created like a salsa type protein. So that could go on top of your sourdough, that could go as a filling in a jacket potato. There's loads and loads of options with that as well, so it's very, very quick and easy as a breakfast spread almost to get a quick fire meal in there. And also as well with boiled eggs, you can eat those on the go. So the way I would cook a boiled egg is get some cold water, fill it 2 to 3 inches, just enough to cover the eggs. Bring it to a rolling boil where essentially the eggs are sort of having a little dance on the bottom. Turn it off, let it sit for 10 to 12 minutes. Strain it in the pan, then pour cold water on it to just stop that cooking process dead. And that is essentially 4 different ways you could bulk cook. So just to recap, women get 1 palm, men get 2 palms. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another lesson.